Hi guys. I am so sorry that I've been gone for a little while, but welcome back to the Kiki La Chanteuse channel, where I talk about disabilities, costuming, burlesque, and things along that, and how they kind of all fit together. Like I do in all my videos, I will give you a slight precursor. I'm sorry, I keep fixing my hat, I know. A slight precursor. I am not a specialist. I do not claim to be one. I will never claim to be one. I am literally just talking about me and my basic information that I know. So today we're going to talk about TBI, like I had promised in a previous video. TBI, how it affects me, and things along those lines. Now, if you do not know what TBI stands for, it stands for traumatic brain injury. TBI has a wide range of symptoms. I'm sorry. And it varies greatly from person to person, injury from injury. And what that entails, like for me, I have a mild mid-range bit of TBI. And for me, my accident was back in February, and it presented as a concussion. People like individuals that I know who have strokes also have TBIs, but theirs is more severe. For me, my TBI predominantly tends to be around the lines of cognitive connections. I have problems looking at people in their faces while trying to have a communication with them, i.e., I can't look somebody in the eye while trying to speak. I can't think of words that I need to say while trying to analyze what that person's facial features are trying to do. So sometimes it could come off as a very unsure or very false sense of or conversation, because I literally am trying to figure out what to say. So I tend to look off to the left a lot because I don't know the words that I'm trying to say sometimes. It takes me some time. I say a lot, and I am very slow and have learned to become very methodical with my conversations. It also has the effect of anxiety, and I don't do well with large crowds as I used to do. So I have anxiety and depression, where I didn't have those before. A lot of my depression was first off from being laid up for such a long time, but not so much anymore. So, but TBI can present itself in many different symptoms. Some people will have nausea, dizziness. I get dizzy very, very easily when I go from one elevation. My head goes from one elevation to the next. I can't stand up very quickly. It's just not a thing I can do anymore. So it varies from person to person. There's medications, there's types of treatment that you can do, but kind of when you have TBI, you kind of have it. And like I said, I'm not an expert. I don't know all of the different things that people can do. I know what I need to do for me. I do push my limitations and my boundaries a lot to try to get through it. But I know when I need to remove myself from a situation. So yeah. For me, the memory thing is the hardest thing that I have. This is the problem that I have. I'm going to show you. This is my, and there's some things on here right now that I wrote down. This is my lifeline to the world. This is my whiteboard. And every night before I go to bed, I have to write everything that I'm going to do for the next day down on it. And I have to literally mark off everything that I do that day, because I can't retain the list of things that I need to do. It's too hard for me to remember it. So my phone is filled with alarms. And it's alarms to call the doctor, or alarms to take pills, or go to the gym. And, so the whiteboard is my first line of defense. So yes, I had to mark off everything. I did do everything on this today. So yeah, every night I write on this what everything I need to do, and I set alarms for it, especially if there's things that have a certain time that I have to do it by. And it keeps me somewhat focused. If it's not on my whiteboard and I don't have an alarm for it, and I have not put it in my computer on my calendar, I don't know to do it. It's gone. So if somebody says, hey, let's go to lunch tomorrow, and I don't stop and put it in my phone right then, right there, I will go home, and literally from me walking away from that person to the time I walk to my car, I have forgotten that I had that time that I was supposed to be with that person. So my life runs on routines, on a lot of routines, to the point where I have gone out with friends and have had to stay the night. And if I don't write down a list, and it's gotten to the point where I have to laminate a piece of paper that's like, when you go out, do you have these things? And it's literally a check mark. It's a list of things. Do you have your medication? Do you have your clothes? Do you have this? Do you have a cell phone charger? Do you have blah, 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 blah. And it's straight down the list. Because I have forgotten quintessential things that I need to function. And it's been a very bad experience. So for me, that's how my TBI rears its its ugly head. For other people, it's different. So yeah, so it can be very exhausting and very time consuming, and can be very tough on your family members or your significant other, who doesn't have to experience that and being in your head every day. You're very unsure of yourself because nothing is ever really, you're never really 100% sure on what's going on. There's a lot of breakthroughs in brain research and things like that have helped immensely when it comes to rehabilitating a TBI. But for me, it's routine. Like I said, for other people, it's going to be something else, and they will have to speak with their neurologist about that. Like mine, I have to limit my the use of my cell phone or my computer to make sure. Oh, sorry, my light changed. Sorry, I gotta fix it real quick. There. That so that I don't overstrain myself. So yeah. So that's TBI for me. If you guys have any questions that you have for me in relationship to my personal disability, please leave them in the comments below. I will happily and I welcome all questions that you may have, and I will answer them as best of my ability that I can. Again, remembering I'm no expert. I'm just one lady dealing with some stuff. So yeah, I think my next video is going to be about being a disabled performer and talk about that and how I kind of get around some of those little things that I got to do from time to time, just to kind of go from the sucks to be us to yay, we can do it too. So yeah, please subscribe to my channel if you want to hear more about my experience as a disabled burlesque performer, or just being disabled and living life and being creative, because I do sew on that thing even with one hand. So I might do some videos with how I do that and things along those lines. So I may hook up the phone over there so you guys can check that out. But yeah, beyond that, I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll post some more videos soon. Have a good one, guys. Bye.